Hey guys, so I just got back from seeing the movie Deliver Us from Evil. Now, um, this week was a kind of tough week for me to figure out what movie I was going to go see. There wasn't a really big variety of choices when it came to good movies. I kind of call this like the rest period before the Apes movie comes out next week. Um, and I was like, I kind of just chose out of random which one I wanted to see, and I went and saw this out of all of them. This movie was a movie that I got a trailer for a lot over the last few months, and I thought it looked alright. It didn't look anything like special. I mean, it just looked alright. I mean, it intrigued me. It had Eric Bana in it, and also it was being directed by the guy who made Sinister and The Exorcism of Emily Rose. I love Sinister. I thought that was a really good, creepy fucking movie. And I'm not, as far as like Exorcism of Emily Rose goes, it's one of those movies that I barely remember, but I remember it not being that good. I remember it feeling like more an episode of Law and Order than an exorcism movie, because half the movie spent um, in the court was spent in the courtroom and not in like dealing with the exorcism of this teenage girl. Um, but I mean, I remember it being okay. I remember there were some pretty creepy elements about it, but I remember it just being okay. I think some people uh, make it better to, or make it to be better than it actually is. Um, but anyways, yeah, with those two elements, I was kind of like, all right, this movie could be not that bad. I mean, it's not been getting very good reviews, but I was like, I'm not always agreeing with the critics half the time. Um, and you know what? There's a lot better. There is a lot better than this out there, and I wouldn't say go rush to go see this. But honestly, this is not a bad flick. It isn't. It honestly isn't. I I didn't really regret watching it. It was a 2 hour movie that I was like, went like by the end of it, I was like, That's basically my reaction. There was a lot of stuff I liked about it, and there was a lot of stuff I didn't like about it. But it's one of those movies that I kind of recommend as a rental or a cheap theater. Honestly, see it in a cheap theater. I mean, um, I thought Eric Bana was really good in this movie. He definitely carries himself in the lead role. Um, I haven't seen Eric Bana in anything in a long time, and that's a damn shame because he is a really good actor. He is a plays a really good hard ass cop in this movie. He also can come off like a badass, which is not hard to do for Eric Bana. Um, I thought he was really good in this movie. He definitely carried it. I thought, everybody else did okay, but he was the except for one person, which I'll get into in a little bit. There was only one performance that killed this movie for me, which I'll get into in a minute. But I thought everybody else did fine. I thought his wife did fine. I thought the daughter did fine. I liked the scene where she the daughter's like on a sugar high and running around the house like being fucking annoying, and Eric Bana just tells her shut the fuck up. That's exactly what I was thinking. Like, that's one of the things about Eric Bana in this movie is like he is relatable. Like, a lot of stuff that he does in this movie, I would probably do the exact same fucking thing. Like the guy, he tells a story halfway through the movie about beating to death a child molester. Honestly, and he knew there was his. I mean, yeah, it's not the way to go about doing justice, but he also was murdering children too. So I mean, I'd understand. I would do the damn fucking exact same thing. Um, but yeah, he is really good in this fucking movie. Um, I also this movie has a lot of elements of creepiness in this. I one of the people that I stood out for me like that was really creepy was that girl at the beginning who was her. You see her in the previews, the one where they find her in the zoo, Bronx Zoo. She ends up trying to throw her child into the lion's den. Actually, does. But the child luckily survives, and she you get scenes with her later on in the movie, and she is really fucking creepy. She is really good. I thought she did really good job. I don't know what her name was, but she was pretty damn good in this. I like the makeup effects of her in this movie. She was she like her makeup kind of reminded me of something you'd see out like. I know this is hard to compare this movie. I'm not trying to say this movie is as good as this one, but The Exorcist. I mean, yeah, the makeup looks really impressive. Also, the blood effects and everything else was pretty impressive. I mean, there is CGI here and there throughout the movie, but there's a lot of practical too, and I like that there was actually practical blood. This movie earns its R rating. Trust me, it does. It's not just like a soft R rating, but it does definitely earn. There's some pretty gory moments in it, and there's a lot. Like I said, there's a lot of creepy moments in it. It's definitely Scott Derrickson, the director of this movie, knows how to make a creep or a slow creeping kind of movie. He definitely does a really good job at it, making creepy atmospheres, all that stuff like that. I think he did a fine job doing that. Trying to think what else. Oh, I also really got a kick out of. This is something I didn't know about. This movie is like an hour or 2 hour advertisement of the Doors album. I'm not joking. I like a Doors best of album. Because like whenever, for some fucking reason, I really don't know it was kind of really hard to explain. It's really hard to explain this, but every time somebody's possessed in this movie or whatever, there are times when they're quoting the Doors like in like lyrics to their songs, and throughout this movie you hear a lot of fucking Doors songs. Like the movie ends with the end credits play Break On Through to the Other Side, which is really funny. I really thought that was funny. I'm like, that's a weird choice of a band to put in this movie, but alright. I mean, the songs do fit. I mean, with the lyrics too, they kind of do fit with this movie. I also liked how I thought it was pretty funny how this movie began, because at the beginning of this movie, it tells you these are the actual counts of NYPD Sergeant blah blah blah. I forget what his name is. It's been a few hours since I've seen this, but after they show you that, the next shot you see is a desert, and I'm like, God damn, New York let itself go pretty goddamn easily. And it takes place in Iraq, and I'm like, did I fucking walk into the wrong movie? What the fuck? I was like, but no, it shows there's a point to it. The three soldiers that are in the opening scene are the three main antagonists that are possessed throughout the rest of the movie. So I mean, it was a pretty good scene. I was wondering why the hell. I was like, what the hell? This movie opens with the Iraq War. All right, but at least it made sense. I'll give them that. As far as what I didn't like about this movie, I guess I should get to my biggest complaint. There was one person in particular in this movie that I really disliked. And this is a person that I really enjoy, like, almost everything I've seen him in. Halfway, like, at the beginning of this movie, you're introduced to Eric Bana and his partner. And when you're introduced to his partner, I didn't recognize him at first, because he had like a Boston Red Sox cap on, and he's got tattoos. And I was like, that guy looks like at first I thought it was Fred Durst, and I'm like, what the fuck? Fred Durst is really in this movie? But then I heard him talk. And then I went, the fuck? Joel McHale? It's Joel McHale. No fucking joke. Joel McHale, the guy who hosts The Soup, is in this fucking movie. And he's supposed to come off like a hard ass, like a badass at the points in this movie. Think about that for a second. Joel fucking McHale is supposed to come off like a badass. Wrap your fucking head around that. The only way they try to make him like fucking a badass is like, I could assume is like, they put tattoos on him. Whoop they fucking do. And I'm like, again, I like Joel McHale, but what the fuck? And also, all of his dialogue in this fucking movie, I'm not joking, are one-liners. That's it. I was thinking maybe this will be like a new term for him, that it would be like a serious role for him. No, he's just playing this like fucking Joel McHale. And it's distracting. It's very fucking distracting. This character should not be in a demonic possession movie at fucking all. He, like, just give you an example, like, what fucking kind of dialogue he has in this movie. I remember this one in, there's a point when the girl that is possessed that throws her kid in the zoo, the lion's den at the zoo, is taken to the police custody, and they decide to put her away in a loony bin. He, out of nowhere, quips, wonder if she's single. Fuck off. Like, that's all his dialogue in this movie, is like just one-liners, that's it. He's fucking useless. Luckily, and I know I'm spoiling this, but he dies before the end of the movie, so thank God. And I will say this also, one of the things is that he, after the first 20 minutes or so, he isn't in this movie as much as I thought he would be, and I was thanking God for that. God, he was bad. He was really bad. I like Joel McHale. I like The Soup. But he should not be in this kind of movie at all. Not fucking all. What else? Am I the only one who felt like they kind of, there's a lot of times in this movie where they just completely drop storylines for no apparent fucking reason. Like, the girl who's possessed, the girl that's possessed that throws her kid in that lion's den at the zoo. Good example. You know, you see her throughout the movie in the loony bin, like a couple times in the loony bin, and like one point in the movie, towards the end, she kills the the doctor that runs the loony bin, and escapes. And you think, oh well, you know, she's gonna become a key integral part in the movie, and like towards the end and stuff like that. You know, she has shown some violence towards Eric Bana, and I had a feeling like, oh, maybe she'll have a big role in the end of the movie. No, what happens is she jumps off a fucking building and lands on Eric Bana's car and commits suicide, and that's it. Okay, it's like, that's a great fucking payoff for that character. Thank you, movie. I thought that was dumb. What was the other one? The storyline that the other soldier that beats his wife. Storyline I felt like was just dropped. Like, I'm halfway through the movie, I was like, whatever fucking happened to that guy? Like, he attacks Eric Bana at his house at one point, and then it's never mentioned. He's never mentioned again. Also, Joel McHale dies and is like, leaves no impact on Eric Bana whatsoever. It felt like he's barely mentioned ever again, but that was fine by me. Sorry, I had to stretch. But he But another thing that did annoy me was uh, this movie has a lot of fucking jump scares. It is it does use a lot of the cliches that you see in a lot of horror movies nowadays, which include jump scares. And I fucking hate jump scares. They really annoy me. That's the cheapest form of scaring people in film nowadays. And there is a lot of it in this movie. It is few and far between, I'll give them that. There is long periods of time where you don't have that, but it does get annoying at points. You're like, Jesus Christ. Don't really fucking need that in these kinds of movies. They already had a creepy atmosphere. They didn't need that. But yeah, I do recommend this movie. I do. I don't, like I said, I don't say go see it full price or anything. Maybe rent it or see it at a cheap theater. If you're like me that likes horror movies, it's not a bad film. If you like Sinister, yeah, if you want to check it out like I did because I like Sinister so much, go ahead. I mean, it's not that bad of a sit. I mean, there's a lot better out there right now to go see. Hold on a second, I gotta go get my phone. Okay, sorry about that. Cause I did write down I did get a bunch of new previews too. I got the new trailer for Hercules. That's a movie that I wouldn't go see on a normal basis because it's being directed by Brett Ratner, who I think is a fucking prick. That guy's a prick, and it's a shame that guy gets all this kinds of work. And he isn't very good, but the only reason I'm going to see it is because it's starring Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, or The Rock, who's my boy, and I gotta watch it. Probably will go see it just because of that. Finally got the fucking new trailer for Expendables 3, instead of getting that same old fucking tired trailer that I've gotten over the last fucking 2 months. Jesus H. Christ. He, there's a lot of fucking winking it felt like winking to the camera moments in the trailer, as you'd expect from the Expendables at this point. Like with when Wesley Snipes, they escape him out of prison, ha ha ha, and they're like, "Oh, I'm glad to be back." Whatever. And I'm intrigued. Like, you got Mel Gibson as the villain, who I don't hate Mel Gibson. Everybody loves to hate Mel Gibson, and you know what? Mel Gibson hasn't helped himself in some of the things he's said, but I still like Mel Gibson. I hate the fact that he's not been able to be in a big role in a long time, and it sucks because I really like Mel Gibson. I'm hoping this will be it would be awesome to see him as the villain. He can play a villain very well. I got a new trailer for The Purge Anarchy. It kind of looked like the recent trailer I've gotten of it, but it had a few more extra scenes. Like, there's like that scene in the trailer that I saw that I was really confused by, like the one where they're bidding to purge these people. It looks like there's there's a scene where all these rich people are bidding to purge the people they find off the street, and it looks, this movie does look like it's going to be better than the first one. I hope it is. It has a lot of potential to be. It looks like this is because honestly, this looks like what the first one should have been. And because I would rather have a story like this than a home invasion movie like we got in the first one. Also, let's see what else I got. No Good Deed. That looks creepy. Idris Elba is like a fucking murderer who escapes prison and takes over a woman's house who's alone with her daughter. That looks really fucking creepy. Idris Elba looks really good in that movie. Oh my god, he looks he can play creepy very well. I guarantee you he's gonna be really good in that movie. I want to see that movie. I'm not gonna lie. It's got Taraji B. Henson, who I forget what she's been in, but I've seen her before. And it's got a lot of good actors. Like I said, fucking you got Idris Elba as a fucking serial killer. It looks like that'll be awesome. And the last one I got was Gone Girl. Yeah, that's the title, called Gone Girl. It's a new Fincher movie starring Ben Affleck, whose wife goes missing. It looks like it's about like his wife goes missing, and like it shows the media storm that follows, like where everybody's accusing him of killing his wife, stuff like that. I again, it's a Fincher movie. It's kind of funny. Like at this point, you know a Fincher movie from like a mile away. The look of it, his movies look all the same. It has the same look for every one of his movies, and like it didn't tell you who was directing it. I knew instantly who it was. I was like, David Fincher. And I said, oh, cool, David Fincher movie. At first I was wondering if it was like a new Ben Affleck movie. No, it's a new David Fincher movie. That's fine by me. I love David Fincher. Definitely will see it. It's one of my favorite directors. It could be pretty good. Who knows? Ben Affleck is a good actor, in my opinion. Maybe he'll get an Oscar. Maybe Fincher will finally get a fucking Oscar. But yeah, I definitely am looking forward to that this summer, or coming in October, I think. But yeah, that's it for me. Have a happy 4th of July. I know it's 4th of July. And I'll be back next week with Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. Yeah. Monkeys with fucking apes with machine guns on horseback. This is going to be awesome. Can't wait. Alright, I'll see you guys next week.